First, let's start with this case. My boyfriend and I have finally taken the next step and have begun talking and planning out our wedding. We aren't engaged yet, but it is planned. We are just waiting due to money, Ian. I have started gathering names to add to the guest list, as well as figuring out my bridal party and also my preferences and wishes. This includes who will be walking me down the aisle. I don't want the traditional father of the bride hands his daughter away, but I want both my parents to walk me down the aisle as they have done a lot for me. Here's the thing, I am adopted. My biological mom did not raise me, nor did she contribute to any of my upbringing in any way. She actually ignored me for most of her life and was not committed to attending any milestones, HS or college graduation, birthdays, etc. Recently, in the last 2 years, she has become a pretty frequent person in my life. We have resolved most differences and moved forward. She even lives with me currently. I've made the decision she will be invited to the wedding and will be with the family table at the reception, but she will not be walking me down the aisle. I want my adoptive parents to do that since they raised me since I was 7 and actually have been present and supportive in my life. I explained this to my biological mom and she flipped out, started crying, and became super guilt-tripping. Am I in the wrong for this? Let's start judging. Unsolicited advice time. Y'all don't need a ring to be engaged. That's just for friends and families to ooh and ah over. If you go diamond, get a 0.8 or 9 carat and you'll save a ton. If not diamond, go with a man-made sapphire, any color nowadays, and it'll be even more cost-effective. Your mom is a guest purely because you love her and want her there, but if she keeps up the fuss, that can easily be changed. I'm willing to bet that when you were little, she wanted to live her best life, and that didn't include you. Now she wants the perks of being a mom without any of the work that comes with being a mom. I'd sit her down while recording, repeat that she will be included as family, but will not be walking you down the aisle, and let her know that you will have security, and the first step she takes out of line will have her thrown out. You and fiancé enjoy each other and your future big day 3. You're not in the wrong. You can choose who walks you down the aisle. Your birth mother is lucky you are inviting her at all. Make it clear that you want the parents who raised you to be the ones to walk you down the aisle. If she isn't okay with that, or you think that she will make a fuss at the wedding, then reconsider whether she should be invited or not. On another note, something I find odd about your post is, you are planning to get married but are not officially engaged for financial reasons. How does engagement relate to money? Can't you be engaged for a longish period whilst you save money? Sounds like you are considering getting engaged, but have not made the decision to commit. Good luck with it all, though. You're not in the wrong. Your biological mom didn't raise you. End of story. You have parents. Your situation might be a bit more complicated in that your biological mom does have a presence in your life and you value her, but it's relatively new and it doesn't suddenly flip a switch and make your entire upbringing have not happened. Honestly, this expectation, and certainly her response, has me doubting she is a healthy presence in your life, especially to be living with you. What would she expect your adoptive parents' roles to be? Start with a firm conversation with her in which you instruct her to stop complaining, whining, and guilt-tripping because you don't need to tolerate this from her. She sounds manipulative. Please tread carefully with what you allow her to do in your life. You're giving her a lot of access to someone that you've only grown close to over the last few years. Given the broader history. Next up, I, 18F, work later in the morning at a fast food restaurant, and every morning we get a pretty good crowd of seniors. I just switched from nights to mornings, so I'm not very familiar with the regulars. There's this one old man who comes in often according to my coworkers, and he has a problem with this one homeless guy who comes in a lot to buy coffee and something small to eat. While I was serving someone in the drive-thru, I could see the old man staring and giving dirty looks to the homeless man, and it was starting to bother me, but I didn't know what to say. My manager asked me to do a coffee round, because when she does it, the old man always complains about the homeless man being in the restaurant, and I'm pretty abrasive and can't stand when people are rude to others. When I reached his table, he didn't say anything about the homeless man, but he did give me a dirty look when I reached the homeless man and gave him a refill on his coffee. A few minutes later, the homeless man stood up and walked near the front to get more cream/sugar for his coffee. The old man came storming up and started yelling at him, saying, "Get out of here! You don't belong here. You're here all the time and I'm sick of seeing you." I slammed my hands on the counter and said, "That's enough. Just because you have different financial situations doesn't make you better than him. He's a paying customer, and he's minding his own business. If you have a problem with him being here and keep giving him dirty looks or say one more rude thing, then you can get out because we don't tolerate harassment here." Then he said something about how I should respect old people and have better customer service skills. So I told him, "Respect is earned, not given." And then the old man sat down. When he finished his coffee, he said he was never coming back. So I said, "Okay, bye, have the day you deserve," and gave him a smile while waving. I understand I should have spoken to him nicer because two wrongs don't make a right. But I hate my job and am sick of dealing with the disrespect that comes with working in fast food, especially from people who think I should respect them just because they're elderly. Plus, the day prior, I put in my 2 weeks' notice. So am I the idiot for yelling at him? Let's start judging. You're not in the wrong. You worded everything well, IMO. No name-calling or swearing, and you defended someone who wasn't hurting anyone. I imagine the manager will apologize to the old man, but hopefully say something along the lines of, "But we can't tolerate that kind of behavior." The customer isn't always right. You're not in the wrong. As someone formerly unhoused, I can't tell you what it means when someone treats you like a person. I can assure you that the unhoused person was glad to have someone stick up for him. You're not in the wrong. As someone formerly unhoused, I can't tell you what it means when someone treats you like a person. I can assure you that the unhoused person was glad to have someone stick up for him. Next up, I have been with my boyfriend for almost 6 years now, and I have kids from a previous relationship. We all live together. His mother does not live with us, but is here almost every day. Our work schedule is such that his mom helps out by coming over very early to wake the kids up and get them ready for school. I really love his mom. She is great. She also picks them up from school, brings them home, and stays with them until we get home. She usually eats dinner with us too. She has a habit of helping out around the house when I don't want her to. Dishes are fine, picking up stuff, also fine. But she also does our laundry, which is the problem. I bought a laundry separator and have baskets. Everything is labeled by whose clothes, what goes in which basket. I do not like washing the kids' things together because they are different sizes, but close enough I have to check every tag when I am putting them away to make sure they don't get mixed up. I do not like mixing the loads together because it honestly makes it a nightmare for me to put away so many different categories at the same time. I don't go crazy. I don't separate colors or anything. Just per-person loads, towels, sheets, and blankets. I have a system of folding things so that everything fits where it is supposed to go. When she does the laundry, she will just dump whatever in the washer while we are still at work. She will fold everything wrong. Boyfriend's clothes are on the top shelf of the closet, and if the pants or shorts are folded wrong, the whole pile falls down, and I have to refold everything. Same for the towels. She doesn't check everything with the kids' clothes, and when they get mixed up, the kids fight about it. When she hangs their stuff up, I have to check everything and put the wrong things where they're supposed to go. I have asked her to stop doing the laundry, many times. I have also asked her to not mix the baskets together. I've shown her how to fold the clothes so they fit and stay without falling. She also has a habit of starting a load of laundry and leaving it in the wash, and telling me about how she's leaving in a hectic moment, and I usually forget about it and have to rewash it. I come home, the washer is going. She's in the laundry room folding clothes. At the moment, I feel like I'd be an idiot if I said something, but I just want to be like, "Please put the clothes down and get out of this room." I have to fix it every time she touches it. My boyfriend thinks I'm being an idiot about it because she's helping. He does not do laundry. He does not understand why it's making me so ungodly angry because he does not have to fix it later after it has been done. Is he right? Am I in the wrong? I feel like I'm going crazy about laundry. Edit for clarification. Yes, I have directly asked her recently not to do the laundry. Over Christmas break, I said exactly, hey, I spent all week getting the house back up to par, and I organized all the laundry the way it has to be correct. Please don't do the laundry anymore. I felt awful telling her not to do it, but I did in fact say exactly not to do it. I have asked many times before that as well. I am gentle with my approach every time, but I do directly say don't do the laundry. I will do it. I know she does watch the kids for free, and it's wonderful, but we never asked her to. We both work for their school. They can come in with us early, so it's not super difficult. They would just have to get up earlier. They can come home with us after work, just later. She wants them to get more sleep in the mornings. She took the task on herself, and I love her and appreciate her for it. They call her Grandma. The house is not dirty. I grew up in a hoarding house, so my house is clean, and I try to avoid clutter and mess at all costs. The mess in my house is normal and lived in. Edit again. I will not lock my laundry room door either. I'm angry, not petty. The room is used for more than just laundry. BF's uncle comes over sometimes to do his own laundry, since their washer broke, and they cannot afford a new one. They will not accept a new one from us. We have tried. It is also the room that the kids' wardrobe is in, as they cannot have their clothes in their room without digging through them in the mornings when I am at work and putting them all over the floor. I could have them choose outfits the night before and leave them out, but if his uncle comes by to do laundry, he would not be able to. Let's start judging. Help your boyfriend understand. When his clothes fall off the shelf, leave them. Take your clothes out of the washer. Leave his in the machine to get smelly. When the kids' clothing gets mixed together, leave it that way and let them find their belongings in the basket. Preferably in front of my L so she can watch in real time as the clothes get jumbled and unfolded. In short, stop fixing this. I don't know how old your kids are, but when mine turned 12, I taught them how to separate, wash, dry, and fold. I would of course help them occasionally when they got busy, but I refused to put so much effort into something they had no appreciation for. In my case, they would leave clean clothes on the floor and mix clean and dirty together. They learned very quickly that they should have put their laundry away properly and not thrown clean clothes on the floor. In the plus side, when they went off to college, they knew how to do laundry. I feel like you're not in the wrong here, but just like pick your battles. There will always be one person in a relationship who cares deeply about how something is done, type A, and someone who doesn't, type B. She's providing you so much village help, which sounds like you appreciate it. Maybe you could loosen your preferences about laundry just a little bit during this time when your kids are so young and you need the help, and just reframe your mindset. Instead of feeling like you're redoing her work, what if you're just making final adjustments before putting it away? Or even just let some of it go, like Elsa. Life's short, and I think it's possible you could channel this energy elsewhere. I say this as an OCD anal retentive type A person who has learned how to graciously accept help from others when I realized my perfectionism wasn't sustainable or helping. Good luck, and I'm so glad you have such a warm and supportive village around you. Real issue here is that your boyfriend doesn't do laundry. He is a grown man. After his mother does her baby boy's laundry, you should just pile it up on his side of the bed and let him deal with putting it away. Next up, important info according to my friends who think I'm an idiot. My son takes after his mom. He has brown skin and eyes and dark curly hair. I'm pale with blue eyes and dark straight hair. So we were at the store. I'm pushing the cart and he's holding my hand. I'm looking at the shelf when I hear a woman say something in Spanish. I don't know what she said because my Spanish is mediocre and I have to pay attention to understand something. I don't know if she's talking to me or not, so I turn to look. A woman leaned over talking to my kid. He doesn't speak Spanish, so he's just sort of staring at her. I started listening. She's asking him if he knows me and where his mom is. I interrupt her and say, "Él no habla español. ¿Necesitas ayuda?" She straightens up and glares at me, but she doesn't answer. She just stared at me for like 15 seconds. which doesn't sound like a long time, but it feels like a long time when a stranger is staring at you. She stepped closer and reached out for my kid. I yanked him back and then picked him up. This woman was giving me the creeps, so I grabbed my cart and started to walk away. She followed us, and when I looked back, she was on her phone. I thought she was texting. I headed for the checkout. She got into the self-checkout line behind me, and that's when I realized she was filming us. I stepped over the barrier of the line and abandoned my groceries. She ducked under to follow me more. I called the police and explained my situation, and they said they would send someone. She was still following me, so I asked a store employee to get security. She said they didn't have any security during the day, but could get someone who spoke better Spanish to talk to her, which I accepted because what could I do? So another employee walks up and talks to the woman in rapid Spanish. He told me she said my son didn't look like he knew me and wanted to ask him some questions. The employee said he could translate, but I said no, that we would wait for the police. He translated that, and then the woman left. I waited inside for the deputy to show up. He walked us to our car after I explained the situation. The situation was so unsettling that I ended up telling all of my friends. Some of them think I was a huge idiot. They said that woman did what I would want anyone to do if my kid was in trouble, and I should have been understanding, not potentially gotten her in legal trouble. I see their perspective, but I was freaked out. Am I in the wrong? Let's start judging. You're not in the wrong. He is your son. While I can understand her being concerned and cautious, which wasn't what she was, if the kid was acting odd or like he needed help, that's not how you handle those situations. She was harassing you and could have actually made it worse if you were a trafficker or kidnapper. You're not in the wrong. It is ludicrous. My daughter doesn't look much like me. I assure you she came out of my body. That woman scared your child more than providing a sense of safety because your child doesn't look enough like you. I'm sorry this happened. You're not in the wrong. My cousin has had to deal with this sort of thing before. It's ridiculous. If you had kidnapped a child, you wouldn't bring them out shopping unless you had kept them long enough that they thought you were their parents anyway. Someone has watched too many criminal dramas on TV. Especially without store security being an option, calling the police was exactly the right thing to do. The second she tries to lay hands on your child, she crossed the line. There was every reason to believe that she would try to kidnap your son, all the while thinking she was saving him. Protect your child, ignore your friends.